Asato ma satkamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityurma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O Mother, take us from unreal to real. Take us from darkness of ignorance to the wisdom of light. Take us from death to immortality. Jai Guru. Welcome back on our Thursday session. I was just reflecting. We all want liberation. We want liberation as a person. But have you realized we as a person do not get liberated? The person does not get liberated. But you get liberated from the person. Who is the you and who is the person? Understand with clarity, with simplicity. The person is this body, this name, this mind, which has got memory, intellect, feelings, and ego, identity. Ego is identity. That person you get liberated from that person, meaning you go beyond the mind and the intellect and the ego and the feelings. So Buddha means Bu and Adha. Buddha. It means Adha is the one who's gone beyond. And Bu is the intellect. He's gone beyond that intellect. And Buddhi, Buddhiman. You and I like to be Buddhiman. If somebody, your teacher tells, Bahut Buddhiman hai and Buddhimati hai, you feel very elated. But all it means that you and I are limited to that intellect. But a Buddha has gone beyond. And Buddha, another meaning, is the one who knows. The one who knows. What? What is this person? And he's gone beyond that person. And what is Buddha? Buddha is very poor intellect. And notice, this world is not suffering because of Buddhas. Buddhas themselves do have suffering. The worm, the poor people, the illiterate, the ignorant, they have physical suffering, basic survival instinct of food, clothes and shelter. That's the Buddhas. They just need very little thing to live. It's the Buddhiman who is creating the maximum suffering in this world, who is suffering the maximum. And this Buddhiman is the person. And when you go beyond that, then you are liberated. Are you with me? Now, when you are Buddhiman, have you realized we are always feeling lonely if I don't have a crowd of people around us? I want my type of people. And that my type of people makes me feel wholesome. Why? I covered with you earlier, because we are not connected to that thing which is within me. And I get liberated from the person, which is Buddhiman person, which is within me, which is I. So you get liberated not as a person. You get liberated from the person, that intellect, that ego, that memory and feelings. In other words, you get connected to truly who you are. You know, truly when you are who you are, you don't feel lonely. Then you love to be alone. Because infinite joy, infinite peace, infinite harmony, infinite bliss. You know, this bliss you call Atman, Paramatman, you call soul, you call spirit, you call Chetana, you call awareness, you call consciousness, you call Chit. They're all that truly you are. And when you're truly you are, then you love to be with yourself alone. Have you noticed? Why do the most of the monks love to be alone? They are serving their life out to help the people. Because they're not worried about their body, their mind, their intellect, their ego. They're very humble. They're very simple. And when they're working, if you look at the monks working, they're on their own world, but selflessly smiling, working. Look at a great mom. All of us have a great mom. Look at the way the mothers have sacrificed. They got connected to that mother within, that the Jagat Janani. That Jagat Janani is the mother within. Call it by any name. Jal, Pani, Tanni, you in French, or washer in German, or water in English, or up in Sanskrit, or up in Persian. Persian and up and Sanskrit up, they borrowed it from Sanskrit. They all mean one thing, is water. So by any name you like to call, that is Ishvara. But that is Dvaita Vedanta. In Dvaita Vedanta is Dvaita, two. One is God, one is you. And what you and I are aspiring to become is Advaita. Only one. Ekam Sat Bahuda Vidanti. We call it by many names. This Ekam Sat is within you and I. And to discover this I, our ancient masters, rishis, right from ahead of Rig Vedas, discovered by silently reflecting, diving within. When you're alone, you love to be still. Then, and when you are lonely, look carefully. You're like a monkey. All right, you're not a monkey. I'm like a monkey. Either way, we are looking here, looking there, looking there, looking here. Party, we are looking for a person. Who is the person I should go connected? You're not. And try this in a party. Be by yourself in a gathering. Just be contented. Be by yourself. Be silent and still, whether in a bar stool or whether in a corner of a table. Just sit down and just watch. If you're alone by yourself and looking complacently, very contented, peaceful, you'll be surprised how many people will want to come and sit next to you. You know why? Because they all love to get connected to that one who's all calm and collected. No? You love to see that person and declare him as your friend, who's calm and who makes you feel joyful and happy. Till the time you realize that light from within, that light is the true you, is that consciousness, is awareness. Like you're aware that you're listening to me. Just like that. Think, a simple metaphor. We are in freedom. That supreme within us is in freedom. But it is got connected to the person. And the person is now being powered by that consciousness from within, the Chetana, the awareness from within, which makes you become aware that you're listening to a voice, you're seeing a face, you are in your home, you're switched on, you're switching off, whatever. That is you. That you is the true you. It's not the person. You're using the applications of the person, called intellect, called memory, called ego, for feeling. But that's not who you truly are. And to get connected to this I, which makes you love to be alone by yourself. When you are connected to that aloneness, you are untouchable. You have attained enlightenment. Enlightenment is what? You feel firstly two meanings. One is you're connected to that light within, enlightened. Another meaning, you feel very light. These worldly things doesn't weigh you down. It doesn't mean you run away from the samsara. No. Vivekananda is saying, those who run away from the samsara into the mountains of Himalaya and say we are going to take God's name and meditate and die with taking God's name or attain the samadhi, they have missed the boat. They have missed the boat. And those who plunge in headlong into the samsara, into the vanities of life, they too have missed the boat. Then what should I do? I can't plunge into the samsara family life. I can't go off to the Himalaya. What am I supposed to do? Natural question. Vivekananda says, divinize your life. Play the same role what you're doing, but with detached mind. Divinize, become divine. And divinization is the purpose of human life. And what does that mean? Vivekananda's words again. Manifestation of the perfection already in you and me. That perfection is that awareness. Untouched. Like the sunlight, apply that message I've shared with you before. Sunlight falls on the dirty puddle on the road these days, rainy days. So much of puddle. But sunlight never gets dirty by falling on the dirty puddle. It's ever detached. Your inside light is like that sunlight. That sunlight falls on pitcher of wine, beer, whiskey. It doesn't get drunk. That sunlight falls on holy river, Ganga, water. It doesn't get holy. Reminds me of a little story, and then I'll tell you, touch upon on Sunday. We will talk about the details of the Upanishads, a little breakdown of the Upanishads. I'll give you a little bit today. You know, in Tapovan is Gangotri, above that is Gomukhi, and above that is Tapovan. It's frozen through the year. Even in the summertime, totally frozen, very cold. And there are many monks who live there. They don't leave that place when it becomes frozen. Many places, like I know Kedarnath and all that, you know, the Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, they give them certain ration for that 6 months, like a big chunk of gur, which is supposed to be chunk, and they take little bit to sustain, little wheat, little firewood, like that, so that they can sustain, little blanket. And these monks, this is the state government gives it to them. And in Tapovan, there is no such thing. And they yet sustain. Now, during the summertime, you know, from All India Radio, Delhi, Doordarshan, the TV team with the director, they were inspired to let's go down and study the monks in Tapovan. And with the cars and vehicles and the TV and generator, no electricity, no? So they went down there to do the shooting. And there is this Tapovan Swami who is doing session with his little monks, 12, 15, 20 monks. So there is little down below is Gangotri Gomukhi going down thousands of feet below. And they had come from Gangotri Gomukhi, the director's team, the film, the cameraman and things like that. And they had done little shooting. And they come and shows it to Tapovan Muni. Maharaj. And they crank up the generator, they show the little TV screen, and they show river Ganga is flowing through in that river, including the sound, like you see in the TV. So Tapovan Muni was amazed. He had never seen a TV. He was said, "Arey wah! Kitna sundar!" And then he tells the director, gives the director his lota, and he said, "Thoda sa pani do na, thoda piyenge." The director smiled and said, "Maharaj, ये दिखता है, ये असलियत पे नहीं है." Maharaj looked at it, looked at the director, he stood up and he told all those devotees, "Can you see these mountains? See the snow cap, the hill, the river, water, Ganga down there. ये सब दिखता है, असलियत पे नहीं है. It is not there." Now recollect, we have covered earlier Ashtavakra Gita. What does it say? Natvam deha nate deha. Bhukta karta nata bhavan. Chidruposi. Chidruposi is your consciousness. Chidruposi. You just be aligned with the consciousness. And Sukham Chara. In Ananda you stay. Ananda, Ananda, Ananda. Just know that you are the Chidruposi, which little while ago I said, Buddhu, Buddhiman and Buddha. And this is the journey of you and me. Now, this is why the Upanishads come. You know, the definitions of Vedanta comes from the book called Vedanta Sara. Veda Anta. Crude meaning, Veda is knowledge, Anta is end of all knowledge. Even better meaning, great professor in Harvard, Professor Parimal, he said, a Bengali professor, great, highly scholarly person, he says there is another meaning. He says Veda is the knowledge, that knowledge whose edge of the knowledge, Anta is edge, is the cutting sharp edge of a sword, of a knife. It cuts through all the ignorance of the people. And this is what Vivekananda said. My life's mission is to take this Vedanta to everyone in the world and spread it. And he said, I'm going to take it to also in India, into the streets and every people. Hey, dear devotee, this is what yours and my job is, to spread this essence of the Vedanta. Understand, learn a little bit. You will automatically be inspired. We are divinely blessed to know a little bit about Vedanta. As per Vedanta, it says that unless you're blessed by the Supreme Divinity, unless you've done great work in your past life, you can never come close to Vedanta. The essence of Vedanta is Vedanta Sara. And how does it explain what is Vedanta? It says Vedanta Sara Upanishad Pramana. Meaning Vedanta is nothing else but Upanishad. And at the Upanishad, from the Upanishad, the Vedanta meaning comes in, is verily the source of the spiritual knowledge, not the physical world. And now, Clinton with Alan Aspect, Joel Zellinger, and John Clinton. 3 Nobel Prize winning physicist, 2022, 6th of October, got the Nobel Prize. Following up from the predecessor on quantum physics on Heisinger and Niels Bohr. Saying what? This world is locally not real. This world is not real. This table, this you, this me, this house, this bunny, this body is not real. And this is what it means, going beyond and getting connected by, remember the 2 words, loneliness and being alone. Loneliness is when we are connected to that prana, connected to that intellect. That intellect is the knife cutting edge. It's cutting through what? You and me. Cutting our mind into pieces, and we are disturbed. And the moment you get connected, what do we have to do? You know something? You are already connected. Only thing you and I don't know. Let me tell you a tiny story. Dhobi, 50, 60, 100 years ago, today you give your clothes to the laundry or putting into your washing machine. Almost every home has washing machine, right? And those poor people wash it by themselves under the tap. But in the 50, 60, 100 years ago, a washerman would come and take your clothes. That was his sole earning. They will put it top of a donkey, tie it up, and take it to the riverbed, go into a dhobi station. There will be a big stone and small stones to rub the clothes, clean it up, dry it, put it back into the donkey and come back home, iron it and give it back to you in 2 or 3 days' time. One day he goes near the river with the clothes, he unloads it, and suddenly he realizes he hadn't brought a rope to tie the donkey. The donkey, if you leave it free, it's going to wander off. And there goes Dhobi's SUV. SUV is gone. How is he going to come back? So he can't leave the donkey, and he sadly put his hand in the head thinking, now what do I do? In India, Bharat, you always got kind, wise men. And there is a wise man comes and he says, Dhobi Baba, what happened? Why are you looking so dukhi kyun lag rahe? The Dhobi said, Maharaj, what to do? I've forgotten the rope to tie the donkey. And if I leave it, donkey will wander away. I can't go to wash my clothes. My days are getting spoiled. The whole day will be gone. So the Maharaj says, you don't have a rope? Don't worry. I don't have a rope either, but I will tell you a trick. You show to the donkey, you're tying the donkey with your hand around the tree and tying and pull it like that. Dhobi will say, then what will happen? There is no rope to hold the donkey. He says, just try it. Donkey doesn't know that there is no rope. So Dhobi does it. Very simple-minded Dhobi believes in the Maharaj, and he goes off to start washing, and once in a while he's looking back and he sees donkey is standing still, like as if he is tired. Not doing, not moving. What donkey is supposed to do, standing still. He washes up, he dries it up, folds them up, loads up into the donkey, and now he says, donkey, chal hut. Donkey is not moving now. Now he says, what happened? Donkey is not moving. He says, chal hut. And he gives what fatka? Donkey is not moving. He's shaking his head. The Dhobi starts pushing the donkey. Donkey is saying, not moving. Now the washerman is in trouble. How am I going to go back with all these clothes and the donkey? Can't leave it behind here. He remembered that Maharaj had entered that house. He goes running there. He says, Maharaj, Maharaj, I have a problem. The donkey is not moving. The Maharaj looks at him and smiles. He says, did you untie the donkey? He said, untie? What untie? There is no rope. He said, donkey doesn't know it. Go and untie him. Make sure donkey sees you. He goes and unties the donkey and says, chal hut. The donkey starts moving. So you and me, dear devotees, dear brilliant ladies and gentlemen, the modern days, you all are the giant people. You and I are in bondage. We are suffering from our freedom. The donkey was always free. You and I are also free. But we are stuck there because we think we are in bondage. This samsara. So Hanumanji asked Sri Ram, I want mukti, I want nirvana. You are my guru. What am I supposed to do? The Hanumanji was told by Sri Ram, Mandakya ekame balam mumukshaye vimuktaye. Mandakya, one Upanishad alone, will liberate you completely. There are 108 Upanishads, but 10 plus 1 are considered by Shankaracharya to be the most important one. And they go with a beautiful rhyme. Ishakena pratha kashna manyakya manyakya itirahi taitarya aitarya, and goes on to Brihadaranaka 10 Upanishad. And there is one Upanishad, Shvetashvara Upanishad, 11th one. They do not know whether it was written by Shankaracharya, the Karika, that is explanation of the Upanishad, or somebody else has written, or they do not know. So some people consider it as 11th one, some people take just happy with the 10. Got a little bit of knowledge. So there are 4 Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, Shama Veda. 108 Upanishad, 18 Purana, out of which 10 Upanishads are considered to be the most. Vedanta comprises of our very famous Bhagavad Gita and Upanishad and Brahma Sutra. Brahma Sutra is the one in which the explanations have been given by great masters like Shankaracharya, Ramanujam, and like that Vallabhacharya. There are great rishis at the past time. With that, I seek your leave, and we shall meet again on Sunday. Remember, we are Purnam. We are the true ourself connected within us. But we are not using it, or just using it for only that consciousness, listening, seeing, partying, enjoying, having fun, learning a little bit, playing games, bodily pleasures, mindly pleasures, watching TV, and talking. When you are not connected to your consciousness, to your Chaitana, you have a terrible tendency of what? Seeking pleasure. Why? Because you want to feel complete. So you want to go for a hike, you want to climb the Mount Everest, you want to swim across the English Channel, you want to do things, you want to fly. This is what happens. You seeking pleasure, and you become compulsive nature, seeking pleasure again and again, shopping, talking, smoking, drinking. When you are not connected, when you are lonely. When you're connected, you're alone, you're calm, you're peaceful. You are connected. All you need to do, you are connected, but learn to be still every day. At least start with 15 minutes. You will suddenly find that as you start practicing, within a few weeks' time, maybe a month's time, your body will get locked. You will not be able to move out from there unless you have completed your journey. Jai Guru.